Welcome to Missing Persons Case Files, a place where the gone are not the forgotten. What's happening in the forests of North America? How are so many people disappearing only to have their remains found much later, or in many cases, not at all? Are the predators to blame? Giant hair-covered beasts? Or even more terrifying, us as humans? Maybe it's both. Maybe it's neither. These are just a few of the questions we'll look to uncover here on the Missing Persons Case Files. Jared M. Negrete. Jared was 13 years old at the time of his disappearance. He vanished during an overnight hiking trip with fellow scouts on the morning of Friday, July 19th, 1991. A group of around 12 scouts set out to climb the summit of Mount St. Gorgonio in California. This was Jared's first ever overnight backpacking trip. During the final stretch to the summit, things got weird. Around 6 p.m., one of the scout leaders was notified that one of the scouts was falling behind. After making it to the top, a head count was taken. That's where it was noticed there was no Jared. At this point, they decided to start heading back and to look for him. They made it all the way to base camp, but no Jared. The scout leader decided to head out on his own to get help. It was around midnight when he was able to reach a ranger and report the boy missing. This began one of the largest search and rescue operations in park history. San Gorgonio Mountain, aka Old Grayback, is the highest peak in Southern California at 11,500 feet. Every single year, campers and hikers flood the San Gorgonio wilderness by the thousands. During the summer months, temps can and do hit the mid-90s during the day and drop to almost freezing at night. The day Jared went missing, it was around 80 degrees during the day, but fell to the 50s that night. Every year, people go missing, but are almost always found in relatively good condition. Jared was from El Monte, California, and was around 5 foot 2 inches tall and weighed 150 pounds. He was considered to be a bit overweight. The day he went missing, he was in good spirit. He usually didn't have any trouble keeping up, despite being a bit on the heavier side. He was wearing his normal scout clothing, which consisted of green pants and a tan shirt. He had with him a water canteen, some snacks, and a disposable camera in his backpack. By 9 a.m. on the following morning, hundreds of search and rescue workers were combing a 130 square mile area of forested mountain. Dog teams, as well as horseback searchers and aircrafts with infrared were also utilized. On day 3, even more people joined the search. And on this day, the first clue was discovered. A footprint believed to match Jared's shoe was found. And not far from that was some wrappers from snacks. The last item found was Jared's disposable camera. There were 12 photos taken, mostly just landscape images taken before he went missing. But the final picture taken was a close-up of Jared's face, mainly his eyes and nose. It was taken with the flash on, so it must have been taken at night. This was the last of any evidence that was found, and in the 3+ decades to follow, there has been no sign of the boy. The search would go on for another couple of weeks and lasted a total of 19 days, involving more than 3,000 people in over 45,000 hours, covering over 56 square miles of the San Bernardino wilderness. What happened to Jared Negrete? A lot of you guys that follow this channel and have supported the Paranormal Odyssey, the shows that I do, have come to really enjoy the missing persons cases that I've been covering. So that's why I started this new little segment called Missing Persons Case Files. I'm going to be doing these probably one a week. Maybe release them on Monday. Going to be releasing them to YouTube as well as podcasts. So I've been looking into several cases, and this one just jumped out at me. I've got the cases that I've really enjoyed covering. The Yuba County Five is definitely up there. A couple of the Smoky Mountain ones I've really enjoyed looking into, but this one's got me perplexed, guys. I don't know what could have happened to this eighth grader. He was an eighth grade boy. From everything that I've seen, all the research I've done, he seemed like a pretty good kid. No behavioral issues that I'm aware of. So, I mean, what could have happened? Let's go over the normal options. The most, if we're going to employ Occam's razor, we would think it said that he was falling behind and he was behind everyone. If he was in a hurry to try to catch up, maybe he took a wrong trail. Maybe he stepped off onto a different trail and it took him somewhere he wasn't familiar with. Maybe he decided to take a shortcut that wasn't through the trail, and what he thought would be a shortcut, and got off trail and got lost that way. That's probably the most reasonable explanation that's out there. Another one is was he abducted? Guys, they were almost at the summit of this mountain, which was 11,500 feet. That's a long way up there. I really doubt anyone was up there that high and had the energy to take this boy physically and get him off the mountain. I'm not saying that it couldn't have been done. It absolutely could have been done. It's just not the way that I'm leaning. You got to question, or I question anyway, why have no remains been found? They had so many people out on this mountain. I think it said 56 square miles from where he went missing. All of these people in this small area, relatively small area, and 3 decades. We're going on like 32, 33 years now. No remains have ever been found. Any time you hear about people going missing, eventually their bodies are found. Why was this boy's not? I don't get that. Something else I don't know about the area. Maybe some of our listeners out there can write in and let me know. Are there a lot of caves in this area? Or are there like sinkholes? I mean, I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here. I'm certainly not familiar with the area at all, but we do have listeners all over the place. So if anyone out there is familiar with this area, please let us know about the terrain. So I don't think abduction is one of them. Animal attack. If an animal got this boy, there would be a mess. I don't think it's possible that an animal got him that day, because surely someone would have heard it. Some of the other scouts would have heard an attack, heard him screaming for help and in pain. Someone would have heard that. So if an animal did get him, he had to have gotten lost first, in my opinion. And then that night or the next day or something, maybe an animal got him. But again, that would be messy. There would be blood found, because, just a few hours later, there were people all over those woods looking. Someone would have found blood, you would think, pieces of clothing, something like that. It wasn't found. So I don't think it was an animal attack. I think you can cross that one off. The people that follow me, there's a lot of you out there. Y'all have heard me talk about this. Y'all know I'm a Bigfoot guy. I founded my research organization, Manimal Research, back in 2019. We get out in the woods and look for evidence of Sasquatch. For those of you that are new to the channel, that's what I do. That's my passion. Anytime you talk about these disappearances, especially when no one was found, people scream Bigfoot. I don't want to be one of these guys with Bigfoot on the brain. I do my very best to not be. But when you hear about cases like this, I don't think that can be crossed off. I really don't. I certainly believe Bigfoot exists. I think that they're out there. So, is it possible that he was taken by something like this? I think it's very possible. Very possible. I'm not going to go out as far as saying that's what I think happened because it's not. But I think it's definitely a possibility. Especially when you talk about a lot of people report that these things, these Bigfoot creatures, are attracted to children. Certainly a 13-year-old, 5'2", 150 pounds, that's not a small child. So I don't know if that would have a role in it. If maybe he would be seen as more of an adult. I don't know. But I think you got to leave that scenario out there. I really do. The next one I'm talk about is something that I've talked about when pertaining to the Smoky Mountains and all of the reports of feral people. Again, California is literally on the other side of the country from where I'm at. I know nothing about California, the mountains of California. I know nothing about it. There are people out there that live there that can tell me, so please do. Are there reports of feral people in the Northern California mountains? I don't know. There certainly is in Tennessee, and that's led me to consider that when people go missing in the Smokies. I've talked about it, but I can't really speak to it in California. But I don't know. It's so weird. It's so odd to me that no remains have ever been found. Over 30 years. What could have happened to this young man? I don't know. I don't know what else can be said about it. I don't know what else we can do. If anyone out there has any more information on it, anything that they can add to this case, please certainly reach out. Wayne at paranormalworldproductions.com. And yeah, just let me know. This one was short and sweet. It's going to be the start of many, many to come, but I wanted to kick everything off with this short one first. All right, guys, until we talk again, y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Bye.